If you played Super Bear Adventure, you've probably seen this pixel minigame in Giant House that you need to complete in order to save Maya. So I recreated it and made more, and to spice up things I decided to give myself only the time of a week to finish the game and make a video about it. If you want to download and play the game, the link will be in the description below. And now I'll tell you what it was like. So without further ado, let's dive in. The first thing I did was redrawing all the sprites from the original game, and that wasn't too difficult as all of them are just on the title screen. Only Chica had some problems with me. I still think that she looks a bit weird, but I mean it's probably the best that I could do. So now it's time to import the sprites to Unity. I decided to firstly recreate the layout of the original level before starting to make any gameplay. Well, it's not exactly a one-to-one recreation, but I think it's pretty close to the original. Now it's time to make our game more alive. So let's actually make Baron able to move. That was pretty straightforward as it's basically just simple top-down movement. So let's test that out oh, okay, seems like I need to fix a few things after all. That's much better. I also added a small twist to the movement. You see, in the original game to control Pixel Baron, you have to step on buttons on the controller in 3D space, and you can't stand on two buttons at the same time, so I also made it like this in my recreation. Now it's time to make some obstacles, and in the original game there are bees which move up and down, so I started doing that. And I've never programmed an AI in a game before, so that's a new experience for me. Since bees move only up and down, their behavior is pretty simple. There we go. The speed may be not as accurate, but I tried my best. Now it's time to make the bees actually dangerous. So now when you touch them, you return to the beginning of the level. The last thing left is to make the player actually able to win the level when you reach Chica. And now it's time for improvements. So I made the text have the same font as in Super Bear Adventure, and I also tried to make similar buttons. So the next step I decided to take was making the main menu, as we already have button and text templates. That's everything I was able to make in 7 hours. I was pretty tired at that point, so I decided to continue tomorrow. New day, new possibilities. I have to finish the main menu, the settings screen to be specific, and introduce a level system with the level select screen. That doesn't sound hard, so the day should fly by. I wasted 3 hours to make a single sound effect. Don't ask me how, but hey, now we've got the school button click sound! And after finishing the main menu itself, having edited the font a little, and spending most of my day figuring out how to make everything look in SBA style, I was about to create a logo for the game. And if you watched my last game dev video, you know I'm not the best at this. So I just took the original SBA logo and reworked it a little. Sadly, I didn't manage to cope with it on day 2. Game development takes more energy than you think. You have to look after each aspect of the game, design, gameplay, other stuff, and sometimes it's very difficult to move on, and you have to overcome your worst feelings and character traits to successfully finish this project. So let's move on to the next day. I finished the logo and here's what the final result looks like. If anyone can make me a better logo for the game, please tell me this on Discord. Now it's time for the interesting part, more levels. So I made the level select screen and full level system. On day 3 I did a lot of quality of life improvements, like this retro TV effect and speedrun timer. Sadly, I did not make any actual new levels, but that's what I was going to do the next day. After getting the full permission to take the Giant House soundtrack from SBA, I imported it to the game. I also added a pause menu and then finally started working on new levels. I added a lot of new stuff to make the game more interesting, like bees moving in different directions, not without bugs. Also, I made an AI for the bee to follow the player, and finished 4 levels on day 4. On day 5 I woke up earlier and continued adding new features to the game, like jumping rabbits and portals. I also improved Bee's AI for it to properly follow the player. And since the week was coming to an end, I started working on the video too, voiced some parts, including this one, and thought of a few ideas. Then of course the only scenes left were to finish making all the levels and edit the video. I was working till late and finished 8 levels overall. I also completely forgot about the saving system, so I did that too, and took a lot more time than I initially wanted it to, because I used a different unfamiliar to me way, but with better security and easier to work with. I'm actually happy that I chose that way, because I learned a lot of new things about C#, and that was just like a breath of fresh air. 2 days were left and I planned finishing the game on day 6, and spending the entirety of day 7 on editing the video, as the challenge includes that in 1 week period too. On day 6 I finished levels up to 15 and my plan was 20. There was one problem though. I was kind of running out of ideas, but I still managed to make interesting looking levels using portals. Warning to those of you who are going to play the game. Some of the levels are super extreme. Prepare your nerves for levels 10 and 15. But yeah, I felt like the game needed some new content, but I didn't have any good ideas. And I was also running out of time as only 1 day was left and I didn't even start editing the video. So there were 3 options for me. First, I could stop at 15 levels and dedicate the next day on editing the video. Second, I could add new features, but this would require to postpone the video for a day or 2. And third, I could go crazy and try to make everything in one single day, the first part of which would be making the last 5 levels, and the second one would be editing the video. While the first 2 options seemed the most realistic, the third one was not for me. I mean, you have to be a psychopath to actually fit everything in 1 day. There is no way this would work for me. But guess which option I chose. I spent almost all the day making the last 5 levels, but by the evening the game was ready. I still want to add a few new features, so I might release an update in the future. If you don't want to miss it, join my Discord, the link will be in the description. Now, as the time of the challenge was coming to an end, it was time to edit the video. And if you liked it, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to my channel. I appreciate it a lot. And if you want the videos to come out faster, you can support me with money using the proper links in the description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.